Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Get Crystallized Show. And I am your host, Coach Crystal. And like crystals, strong women are made under pressure. And I have an amazing guest. Talk about a strong woman. This woman, it's her, this is maybe your second or third interview, but I'm really excited because Keandria, a student in our R3 Academy and was a member of the R3 team who recently competed at the UFE Mayhem fitness competition in Hamilton, Ontario. This is literally the conclusion of her 100 days to stage. But it was definitely a bumpy ride for Keandria. So, since having you on the show, Key, I would love for you to share. Um, you were sharing your journey on your show with your husband, and there were some bumpy roads that you came across. And I would love for you to start off leading up to the cruise that you went on, because up until that point, everything was smooth sailing. Well, smooth sailing as in you were, training accordingly with the plan to get you on stage. Your costume was being made. You were following your macros to the T. Pretty smooth.
Yep,
Still
pretty smooth.
working out hard, but man, did you go through some trials and tribulations. So I would love for you to share, leading up to the stage, what happened?
Okay. So, as Coach said, 100 days to the stage is something, I came up with. Actually, it started like on my birthday back in July. And this was something new for me. So, of course, my husband always out in front of the camera. He's always wanted me to do something with him. So I thought maybe this is something that we can showcase and, something positive and something that would get me out of my comfort zone. So we started like, taping and recording things that I would do on my way to the stage, whether it be a workout, whether it be, just some encouraging words and just letting people know what they can do to, to kind of start their own journeys and things like that. So the end of August hit, we go on a cruise, family cruise, excited about it, something, of course, everybody's excited getting back into the whole vacation mode after the pandemic and things like that or whatever. So smooth sailing, we go on a cruise. I already knew that there were going to be, some, well, what we call maybe temptations and things like that. But I was prepared, I knew that I wasn't going to have all that great of a, internet access. So I made sure that I had my workouts written down. On the cruise, they had a gym, they had a track. So, I would go to the gym, I would walk around the track with my family members and things like that or whatever, and I knew that as far as food, I wouldn't be able to follow my macros to the T. But, before I left, I got with Coach and we talked about some things that I could do, and just trying to stick to the things like, your proteins and your fruits and vegetables and things like that. So I just knew I had it all together. I would go to the buffet, of course, and try to stick to those type of things or whatever. Of course, you still don't know what they're preparing the foods with and things like that. So it was a little, iffy, but I still tried to stick to it as close as possible. So cruise, had a great time. Like I said, I did all the things that I thought I should be doing or whatever. Get home, maybe like a day after, I start feeling like, a little sniffle, coughing, throat not feeling all that great or whatever. So, and mind you, I'm thinking like, okay, I did it. I made it 2 years. I haven't, COVID, nothing or whatever, everybody around me again. And I was like, okay, I did so well. I did so well. So it just wasn't getting better. And I was like, okay, well, let me, take a test. So took a test. Of course, lo and behold, the test came back positive. And all right, everybody's been dealing with it. It's going to be okay or whatever. I don't know. I feel like I'm that person that I don't get sick, but when I do, it knocks me out. It's one of those things like bam or whatever, and I'm down for the count. And COVID was one of those things. I swear, every symptom you could possibly have, I swear I had, and then maybe invented a few as well. But it was a rocky road through the whole, you know what I mean, the whole process of having COVID and things like that. I called the doctor. They gave me some things to try to take at home or whatever. But it just wasn't, it wasn't easing up. It wasn't sitting well or whatever. So mind you, this, I contact Coach, let her know that I'm down. I, of course, couldn't eat follow macros or anything like that, or I couldn't work out, especially with the workouts and things that we were doing, getting ready for the stage or whatever. And of course, it now that had become like a part of my life. That was, those are my habits and things. Like now I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, I can't do these things or whatever. But I knew I needed to get better as well or whatever. So get through, COVID. So what I thought I was getting through COVID or whatever. Next week or not too long afterwards, I started having these unbearable stomach pains. I go to the urgent care first, trying to avoid the emergency room. And, they do all these tests and things like that. And they're like, first they thought it was my gallbladder. But, so she sent me to the emergency room. She said, I just want you to get, some more extensive testing that you can only get there or whatever. So I went, spent a day and a half in the emergency room, did all these testings, did different tests and things like that. They still couldn't figure out what was going on. Asked me, had I ever had the pain before, things like that or whatever. And no, it was all new. So of course they sent me home. Still to this day, I really don't know what's going on. I have a few follow-up appointments, of course, to get some more testing done or whatever. But all these things are hitting me back to back. So then I finally go back to work. What happens? Car accident. Car hits me from behind. So I'm like, what is going on? This all happened in a matter of weeks in the month of September. So I'm like, okay, we have to.
Month of September, by the way, just for all the listeners, is literally 1 month till the show. 1 month till the show. Cruise, COVID, merge, and a car accident. So, literally, this is probably what, day 80 or something? 85?
Okay. At that point, of course, I lost count. I'm like, what is going on? But I just look at it like, I'm glad that I had R3, in my, had already started and been in the process of, because I think if this was some years ago, of course, I wouldn't be able to like stay on track and get back on track after going through all of this. And of course, it was tough, like I said, because those things have become habits for me or whatever. But just knowing that, okay, you can't do it right now. This is just your time to just maybe just slow down. You know what I mean? Like, it's just all a part of God's plan. I just like something way better is going to be at the end of this. It's just, and like Coach always say, like, we're being pruned or whatever. And I guess that was just, one of my moments of pruning or whatever. But I look at it as, a lesson. I look at it as, I'm stronger than what I thought I was or whatever. And, and basically I could get through anything. And just because you go through these setbacks doesn't mean you have to stay there. And I feel like, just sticking with it and staying the course, you know what I mean? I still was able to walk the stage, you know what I mean? I had to jump back on board quickly there. I mean, I may not have the results that I was really looking for at the end, but I'm proud to say that I did walk the stage. It was the most amazing experience for me, something totally out of my comfort zone. But that day, it was just like, I'm here, just do it. Just
Talk
do it,
us
girl.
through. So you're waiting backstage. Mm-hmm. The MC calls your name. Talk us through what was going through your mind when it was right before your turn to work that stage.
And it's so funny because all day I felt like, I was excited. I wasn't nervous or anything like that. And I don't even think I was really nervous right before. It was funny because, we're back in the category that I was in, the transformation category. We were after the intermission. So the morning had already been long, but it was okay because like I was there, we were there cheering each other on, cheering the other team members on for R3. Like I said, it was just a great experience for me overall. But I remember, we get up there, it's time, you know what I mean? And I'm just thinking to myself, you have all these people out there supporting you, your family, your friends, your R3 family. It was just such an amazing experience. And I remember getting up to the curtain right before walking out. There's a video guy in the back and he wants to do an interview. And I'm like, oh my gosh, an interview like that, right? But it was so funny. Even with that, I didn't get nervous because now I'm to the point, like you said, Coach, I've been doing a number of interviews with you and things like that. So now I feel like, oh, I'm ready. I got this. And he's asking me questions and I'm just answering the questions. And then he's like, you did amazing, or whatever like that. So I'm like, oh, thank you. And then I hear Keandria Rank coming to the stage, you know, I'm like, oh shoot. So in that moment, I think I kind of got off because it was like I was focused on the interview, and then right after that, I had to go on stage. But like I said, again, I just remember walking out there, just like smiling and just thinking about my family being out there, my friends. Like I said, I couldn't really hear everything that was going on, but I knew that this was my moment and that I'm just going to go out there, give it my all, you know, do what I came to. Like, it's, you know, I had already won. Like, truthfully, I didn't go there. You know, people want to win, and that's good. And of course, if you win, that's a great thing. But it was just a win for me, just showing up, just doing it, just being a part of it. Because a year or two ago, yeah, not so much. Not the laid back, you know, in a corner, introverted Keandria, you know, stuff like that. My husband, that's him. He does that type of things, you know, anytime he feels like he's the star of the show in anything. So this would have been right up his alley. But for me to be able to go out there and walk the stage and be able to show my daughters, like, you know, you can do anything you put your mind to, you're capable of anything, you know, just put in the work and be dedicated, disciplined, and it'll all pay off. Like I said, this was such a blessing. I learned a lot about myself. You know, and looking forward to doing it again. You know what I mean? Something that I finally found for me, something that was just, like I said, an awesome experience, and just hearing all the feedback and the family members and my coaches. I got a call this morning from a old coworker, and she was like, oh my gosh, because again, my husband is, you know, video and everything for our show, whatever. She's like, I saw the video. She was like, I am so proud of you. It's just such a, she said, you would never even wear a pair of shorts. And now here you are with, you know, out here with a bikini on it. I'm like, I know. Can you believe it? So, but I am so proud, like I said, of the growth, just the difference I see in me, the confidence I see in me, knowing that I am worthy, knowing that, again, I could do anything. Like, I could do anything I put my mind to, and just stick to it. And yeah, there are going to be some setbacks, but you know, how you always say, Coach, we fall down, but we fall forward. You know what I mean? We don't stay there. We get up, and just keep going. And that's some of the, you know, the tools and things that I've learned since being a part of R3. And like I said, just, you know, when I started this thing, I always say something for me, but I wanted to build my walk by, you know, I just wanted to grow spiritually, emotionally, physically, you know, and all those things I've been able to accomplish in these past 2 years being a part of, you know, R3. And I remember coming to visit the year before just to support the other girls in the show. And I talked to Coach, and I was like, yeah, I think that's something I would like to do one day. But then I was like, oh, I have to move to Canada, and how am I going to train and all this? So she was like, oh, no, we do all this online. I'm like, oh, okay. And then, like I said, I didn't think it would be a year later, but, you know, I did, you know, it was definitely something I wanted to do. But then I was excited about the category that was offered as far as transformation and just showing, you know, my journey, you know. So
Yes.
it's been awesome. It's been great.
You know, your transformation, which is why I thought it was the perfect category to start with,
Mm-hmm.
because the transformation category, for those that you don't know, brand new to the UFE Federation, is literally the contestant, the competitor, their before picture is blown up on a big screen for all the world to see where they started.
Yeah.
And then the competitor walks out, you know, with Keandria in her gorgeous purple, you know, bikini style outfit, and boom, you see this beautiful butterfly come out. And that's what's really, really stunning about the transformation category. And you were able to write, you know, a small kind of paragraph to kind of share your story as well. And do you remember a little bit of your story? Do you remember what you had wrote?
Yeah, so we got to talk to UFE about that too. We need more than 100 words, but but no, when writing it, I was like, it's just like, wow, because now that I'm part of this, and now that I've had such a transformation and the joy that it brings to me, like I want to bring that same joy to others. And, and being a part of R3, I'm able to do that, able to support other women. And now even going into coaching and, getting my bar certification to be able to, you know, help other women, and I was able to express that in that writing. Also being able to, encourage my family members. Even throughout this journey, my husband jumped on board and he's lost 30 plus pounds because of it. So being able to inspire others, like I had never really thought of it before. Like I always, I feel like I'm a nice person and I help other people out or whatever. But like on this level, I've never, done that before. And it's fulfilling for me. And like I said, and being able to even with R3, bring my sisters into the program, bring my mom, a coworker, and I felt like, wow, these people saw the changes in me that made them think about it and think about their own health and their own, journeys and wanting to do better for themselves. And it has made my journey even more fulfilling. I mean, I have a long way to go. There's still some things that, I want to do, but what I've accomplished so far, I'm, truly grateful, honored, to be able to do it. And, just like I said, the growth, I was able to express that, even, like I said, spiritually, like, you know what I mean? Like you talk about all the time, like without God, none of this is possible. And I really grown in that area as well. Like, talking to him and asking him what, the best thing for me and guiding me through this whole journey. And like I said, just being able to before R3, it was all about everybody else, but in a sense, it's still about everybody else, but me first.
Yes.
That whole thing of being able to take care of yourself to be able to pour into others. Now I feel like I have more to give because my cup is filled. You know what I mean? I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better about myself. And so I'm able to offer more. And even now, like family and friends seeing that and knowing that, okay, even down to my daughters, my husband, like when I set aside time to do certain things with R3 and things like that, they know now that's my time. My husband says all the time now, he's like, you're a totally different person. And he's like, this is a part of you now. This is your life. Like, I don't see you doing anything else or going anywhere. Like, no matter what, I see you continuing. And he, he's happy about it because like, I never had that before. Like, and my kids used to always tease me and say, oh, Mom, you don't have any friends and things like that or whatever. So on the trip when we were there in Canada, I remember after the LBD that night we left and we were just talking about how, much of an amazing time we were having. And Carl, my husband's like, oh, you have friends now. We had to come all the way to Canada to get you some friends. But
Oh, Carl.
So it's like, but no, just the support of the R3 sisters and things like that or whatever has, like I said, and you guys probably think like, oh my gosh, she's talking so much now, you know what I mean? But before now I'm like, okay, am I talking too much? Maybe I need to calm down a little. But I'm just excited because like I said, like I see my transformation and the journey that I've been on and the work I put in and it's paying off. And so I'm definitely glad that, I'm a part of R3 and I found R3. So
Oh, and we are so glad to have you a part of the family, Key. And so, just to kind of explain to the listeners what the LBD is, when you are a member of or a student in the R3 Academy, we hold small challenges throughout the year so that you have small goals to achieve. And the LBD is short form for our 8-week Little Black Dress Challenge. And this is an annual gathering that we're going to offer in the R3 Academy where and we service women all across North America, and we use the opportunity to support the R3 team that weekend, and then the following day we host a graduation party. And this is what Keandra was referring to: is we had a graduation party where those from students from all across North America are able to come and join us, and we're able to celebrate one another. And so, really, you have friends from Texas and Jersey and Canada, and there's so many other women from all across the world now that we are online, that you have a sisterhood everywhere, from everywhere, which is so, so beautiful. And as you mentioned, now you have this confidence and you've evolved, and with your certification of bar, what I love about that discipline, and now you becoming an R3 fitness coach, is bar is very much developing that kind of mind body connection. There's that touch of dance, which I know you have a background in, and your girls are in competitive dance as well. And I think it's a beautiful discipline for women to to move like that.
Mhm.
We are so stuck sitting behind a desk, you know what I mean? And movement like bar is beautiful. It strengthens you, it makes you feel empowered, it makes you feel strong, and it tones and tightens the body, which is why I'm really excited that you're bringing that discipline to R3. And I have to give a shout out to Carl, because my goodness, he is what awesome looks like. He basically vlogged the whole thing, your whole trip, and I've added your YouTube link so all of you can subscribe to the Raineys channel and you can watch Keandria rock that stage. It was absolutely phenomenal. And so I'm going to be opening auditions soon for women who maybe have thought, is it even possible for me to compete? And so that is going to be happening in the beginning of December. I'm going to be holding a 4-hour workshop, and Keandra is going to be one of the guest speakers, sharing her experience about the transformation category. So if there are some listeners right now, and I specialize working with women over 40 to hit that competition stage. So if there is someone listening right now on the podcast or YouTube channel or live or watching the replay, and they're like, whoa, compete? Could I actually do it? Like, what would you say to that woman who maybe thought about it at one point in her life and might be thinking, is it too late? What would you say to her?
I would say go for it. I would say definitely do it. Again, like I said, it's very exciting. And what I like about the UFE, there's so many different, I don't know, say types or women that you see there, because that's ranging from, well, pretty young to 70, 80, you know what I mean? So if it's something that you definitely want to do, I would say go for it, because, and you got to think like, we're all different, you know what I mean? And I think with UFE, that's kind of is demonstrated in that competition, because like I said, you have so many different women from different backgrounds, different, nationalities, different, just and very supportive, you know what I mean? Not just your team, people from other teams and things like that or whatever. And I think that was one of my main things. I'm like, well, I don't look like that, or maybe I shouldn't do this or whatever like that. But I just came to terms like, I'm me, and this is what I look like. And I worked hard to get to this point. And I know there's better things to come. So you just got to think about staying in your lane, not worrying about others, like I said, and get out there and strut your stuff. That I think that was the best part for me, getting into the walking across that stage or whatever, you posing and doing your routine and things like that or whatever. Because again, it makes you feel good about yourself. It makes you feel worthy and confident and things like that. As women, that we often lack, because again, we're everybody else's biggest cheerleaders, and we tend to just kind of put ourselves on the back burner. But like I said, that day, I was the queen. You know what I mean? I felt like a queen out there. Like I did my thing, and I would want every woman to experience that. Like Coach Crystal said, she'll be doing this until she's well into her 80s and things like that, whatever. So like, it's very fulfilling. You know what I mean? And don't think about those stereotypical things that people try to put in your head and things like that. Like, it's just fun. It's something for you, something, you know what I mean? Like, and with the right people, you know what I mean, out there cheering you on and things like that. If we win medals, great. But if not, you know what I mean? Like, just make your own medal. You know what I mean? Like,
You are the medal.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, it was a great experience. And that definitely, if it's something that you're looking or thought about before, I would definitely say do it, because it very fulfilling, very fulfilling.
Well, I'm excited because you have inspired your sisters to consider doing the transformation category. And I'm sure both your sisters, would have never thought, had
Yeah.
it not been watching you blossom and witness your transformation. And the being on stage, that is the cherry on top. And I always say to my competitors, it's not necessarily about that end goal, it's who you become along the way.
Mm-hmm.
And, Keandra has demonstrated that she has built confidence, that she is strong, that she's not only a queen on that stage, she is a queen and always has been, but now
Yeah.
has recognized that and
Exactly.
is honoring that, right? And so I want to encourage you. I will, if you are interested, I am going to create a wait list. So I will add my email address there. And if you are interested in auditioning and attending the free workshop, just put R3 Team 2023 in the subject line, and I will put you on the wait list. I do believe my workshop is going to be probably the first Saturday of December. And again, it's going to be a 4-hour workshop. Keandra is one of the competitors that we're going to feature, just to give you an idea of the type of commitment, the type of work, the training, the nutrition, and what to expect, right? What to expect if you wanted to take the time to get to that competition stage. What does that even involve? How does it change your life? And you're going to hear, more testimonies like Keandria. So if that is something that you're interested in, go ahead and, click on that email, send me an email with the subject line, R3 Team 2023. So Key, I'm just so proud of you. I mean, from the crazy saga that you went through on the last 20 days, 30 days of your 100 days to the stage, right?
Oh
To
gosh.
then I didn't even know that you had that interview. I'm so unbelievably proud of you that you were, staying and professional and poised from interview right into hitting that stage.
Yeah.
That is a brand spanking new Keandria. To go from an interview
Right.
to the stage in a period of 10 minutes. I mean, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable. And that's it. If you, are looking for some type of experience to feel empowered and to grow as a woman, as a person, as an entrepreneur, as a mother, as a wife, and really push yourself to your limit, because that's the thing. So many of us are comfortable in our comfort zone,
Mm-hmm.
and we feel like, oh, that's too far-fetched. I would never wear a bikini, I would never go on stage. But you don't know unless, and also your physicality, what is possible if I actually dedicate fully to and trust the process. What could my body possibly look like, especially after children? What could it possibly look like? And I've been doing this for the past 4 years now, and to witness women like Keandria blossom and the confidence that they bring on that stage, honestly, is unbelievable. And again, like Keandria said, it's not about the medal, because you are the medal. You are the medal, and the queen that you finally accept that you are. That's the medal right there. You've won right there. And so, any last words to the women that are like, oh, that and they're like, I don't know if this is for me. I mean, I've the last time I wore a bikini, I was in my 20s. What would you say to her? Firstly, just to attend the free workshop. It's free. And just to learn more about it, right?
Yeah.
What would you say to that woman who has this, oh my goodness, could I?
Yeah.
Could I do it? What would you say to her?
I would say definitely, if you're thinking about it, you're already halfway there. You know what I mean? Because it's in you. You know what I mean? It's just bringing it out. And again, just trusting the process. And I say doing it with R3 is the best way to do it, because we have such a great support system here. You know what I mean? And again, we meet you where you are. You know what I mean? Again, don't expect to look like somebody else. Don't worry about what anybody else is looking like or whatever like that. You know, we're working on, you know, you're working on yourself, whatever like that. Like, again, my whole transformation and just our coach was talking about what your body could do. Like, even sometimes when you don't see it in weight, just seeing the difference in your body, that was like a big deal for me. Like, wow, is that really me or whatever like that. So I would say, again, just do it. Like, I can't, the feeling I can't even explain. Like I said, it's very fulfilling. And what better way to show people, or to show, or just to be that example for others, if you want to, or you have kids, or, you know, family members or things like that. Like, let them know that anything is possible, you know, and why not stretch yourself across the stage?
Why not
Show what you got.
yourself?
Show what you're working with.
Yes, I love it. Why not? Kendra, you know how proud I am of you. And now you moving into the fitness coach realm. I'm excited for you to inspire our three women in that capacity, to be able to move their bodies in ways they didn't think was possible and to get strong. That's another way that I know that God is using you. So I am so proud of you. And this is literally the beginning. Like, we just dipped your toe.
Yeah.
Like, we just dipped your toe from, you know, competing again to different categories, like glamour, watch out, to, you know, teaching bar. I mean, this is just the beginning of your amazing journey. So thank you for sharing your story, for persevering and practicing all of the faith and mindset tools that R3 has taught you to get through that major, like, back-to-back trial and tribulation that you went through, and then coming out and blossoming on that stage. So I know that you have inspired so many women that maybe are thinking, is it possible? Maybe if Keandria can do it, maybe I can do it.
Very possible.
So
we have to show them a video, one of my first videos, you know, when I wasn't really.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to actually do that. How you evolved from your first workout to now and hitting that stage, I will make sure to add that.
Oh my gosh.
So if you want to see Keandria rock that stage, make sure you click on that link, subscribe to the Raineys YouTube channel, watch Keandria just blossom on that stage. So Keith, thank you so much. 100 days to the stage. You did it.
I did it.
You did it.
We did it. We did it.
We did it. Yes, we did it. And you rocked it, and you are the medal, and you are a queen. Thank you so much for sharing your story and inspiring our listeners today.
Thank you.
All right, ladies, we'll see you next time on the Get Crystallized Show. Have an amazing day, everyone.